technical working group, we have PWG head, engineer Leslie, lead his members, Miss Maria Lopez Mende, engineer Sanjo Kapalan-Bisela, for the secretariat, head, Louis Brody, and the rest of the members, we have Miss Naomi Amplayo, Miss Jo Bompat, and Miss Betelo Pio. For the back observers, we have sent out communications, invitations, but unfortunately, none of our invited observers are present right now. We have invited 4 observers actually. We have from the Commission on Audit, the Social Action Center of Tagbilaran, the Bohol Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Department of Public Works and Highways. So they have not sent out their representatives. So anyway, we'll proceed. For the leaders representative, Mr. Chair, we have the following attendees. From the multi-system construction, Mr. Alejandro Senroses, engineer, and also Salvador Roses, sir. From the LAJ Tracking and Builders Incorporated, Miss Lina Marie Leon. Welcome. From the ASD Builders, we have Mr. Anthony Tan, sir. From CCM Construction, we have 2 representatives, Miss Brigida Bulao and Miss Aisa Pilon. So, Mr. Chair, majority, or if all of the above members are present right now, so this constitutes quorum, so we can proceed with the pre-bidding conference.
Okay, John, thank you very much. So, out of 5 back members for our presence, except end user of Katapakan Port Project, being quorum is established. So, we are now to proceed with the briefing conference. For the first agenda, we have the replacement of fendering system cover Walkway to include reinforced concrete overlay of Fastcraft Berth and Bulkhead, Port of Tagbilaran, in which the ABC is or approved budget was in the amount of 466,834 pesos and 89 centavos. So before we proceed on the next agenda, John, we are to place first present the bidding invitation to bid, followed with the financial, technical, and legal, and also conclude with the detailed plans and costing. So I will turn over the floor to our head secretariat, architect, Emilito Araujo Sikat. John.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair, presiding officer. First up, we will discuss the first project named the repair replacement of fendering system, cover walkway to include reinforced concrete overlay of Fastcraft Berth and Bulkhead, Port of Tagbilaran City. So, for a backgrounder, we have posted the invitation to bid on May 24 at first at the PhilGEM's website, second at the PPA website, and 3 conspicuous places here in the province. May I acknowledge the presence of the terminal manager of Tagbilaran, Loon. So he will be the end user for the second project. At the port of Loon. So let's proceed. As contained in the invitation to bid, we have the following. The PPA through the corporate budget of the authority for CY 2011 intends to apply the sum of 25,466,834 pesos and 89 centavos, being the approved budget for the contract for 2 payments under the contract for the repair, replacement of fendering system, covered walkway to include reinforced concrete overlay of Fastcraft, Berth, and Bulkhead, Port of Tagbilaran, Tagbilaran City. So bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at bid opening. These are the following scope of work for this project: general expenses, repair of covered walkway, fendering and mooring system at Fastcraft, Berth, provision of RC baywalk, repair of covered walkway from passenger terminal building 1 to Fastcraft, Berth, and electrical works. So completion of work is required in 300 calendar days, and bidders should have completed within 10 years from the date of submission the receipt of bids a single largest contract completed similar to the project. Okay. So with regards to the description of what an eligible bidder is, you may refer to the bidding documents, particularly in section 2 at the instruction to bidders. So we will be bidding or conducting the opening of bidding using non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in RA 9184, or otherwise known as the Government Procurement Reform Act. And bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorships, partnerships, organizations with at least 75% interest. I think our prospective bidders here right now are qualified. So for any additional information, interested bidders may refer or contact the bids and awards committee and inspect the bidding documents at the address given below from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So a complete set of bidding documents may be purchased by interested bidders from the address below, and upon payment of a non-refundable fee of 25,000 pesos per PPA Memorandum Circular number 10/2012, dated September 19, 2012. So I believe all of our prospective bidders right now have purchased the necessary bidding documents. So as we go along, you may interrupt me and ask questions. The bids and awards committee will be holding. So right now we are holding the weekly bid conference, June 5 at 10 a.m. here at the multipurpose hall. And bids must be delivered to the address below on or before 10 a.m. of June 19, 2018. That will be the bidding date at the Bids and Awards Committee, Engineering Service Division, PMO Administration Building, Port Area, Tagbilaran City. So may I just call the attention of our prospective bidders for these important reminders. All bids must be accompanied by a notarized bid securing declaration or any of the bids including the following acceptable forms and amount. Actually, we have a correction on this. You may opt to submit only one according to the second paragraph, all this must be accompanied by an authorized bid securing declaration. No? We have corrected this one. You only have to submit either cash bid security in a form of cash cashier's manager's check, which is 2%, or bank draft guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit, 2%, surety bond callable upon demand, 5%, or any of the combination of the foregoing, or an authorized bid securing declaration. Okay. So you have 5 options actually regarding your bid security. Okay. And please take note of the amount of bid security that should be equal to the requirement. Do you have questions so far from our bidders, respective bidders? None. And bids will be open in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend at the address below. Still, we will be holding the bidding at this venue, multi-purpose hall, and late bids shall not be accepted. So, for purposes of information, we have 2 projects. So, the first project, which is the Tagbilaran project, we will open. The deadline for the submission or dropping of bids is at 10 a.m. of June 19. So, the bid opening for this project, for this particular project, is at 10:30 a.m. Okay. Please take note. And for the second project, the Loon project, we will automatically proceed with the bidding right after we have finished with the opening bids with regards to the Tagbilaran project. I hope that is clear to all. We did not put here any time because we have no control over the bid opening. That's why we have to proceed after the opening of the first project, the Tagbilaran. But again, the deadline for the submission or dropping of your bid proposals is at 10 a.m. of June 19, 2018. Okay? And the required pickup registration for this particular project, repair replacement of fendering system at the Port of Tagbilaran, medium A classification for port, harbor, and offshore engineering. And most importantly, the Philippine Ports Authority reserves the right to accept or reject any bid, to annul the bidding process, and to reject all bids at all time prior to the contract award without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. Medium A. What is it? We have a correction. The required pickup registration for, just make the necessary correction, please. We require medium A for this project. Technical working group, can you verify, please? So while we are waiting for the verification of the technical working group regarding whether it is medium A or medium B, can we now proceed with the instruction to bidders, Mr. Chair?
Again, President.
Okay, so please refer to your bid documents. We will start with the instruction to bidders. regarding preparation of bids. Preparation of bids now. Page 11. We'll just discuss on the highlights or the most important or salient items in the bid documents. First, we will discuss the eligibility and technical components and the financial component. Page 11. Okay. Preparation. Next. Documents comprising the bid, eligibility and technical components. So these are the requirements for the eligibility and technical components. So unless otherwise indicated in the BDS or the bid data sheet, the first envelope shall contain the following eligibility and technical documents. For eligibility documents, we have Class A documents, namely PhilJet, Certificate of Registration, and membership in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of the IRR. Next, statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Next is the statement of the bidders SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid. SLCC is the single largest contract completed. Next. The statement of the bidders shall be supported by the notice of award and or notice to proceed, project owner certificate and final acceptance issued by the owner other than the contractor or the contractor's performance evaluation. Final rate which must be at least satisfactory. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. Next, unless otherwise provided in the BDS, a valid special pickup license in case of joint ventures and registration for the time and cost of the contract for this project, and the NFCC computation in accordance with ITB Clause 5.5 or the net financial contracting capacity. For this document, you may refer to the pro forma. For ease of reference, you may refer to our pro forma provided to you. The same at the last part of the bid of your bid documents. Annex J. Please refer to Annex J so that we have. For your own convenience, you may refer to Annex J regarding the bid forms. So we encourage you to use the bid forms provided. You need not make your own or create your own bid forms, but you just refer to what is provided. Again, for the technical and financial envelope requirements for bidders, please refer to Annex I. So the eligibility requirements as provided, we have the legal documents, DTI, SEC or CDA registration, whichever is applicable to you. DTI for sole proprietorship, SEC for corporation, CDA for cooperative. Next important document is the valid mayor's permit for principal place of business. Second is the tax clearance. And then PhilJEP certificate of registration. Duly signed statement of all ongoing contracts. So please refer to the attached or provided forms. Valid pickup license and registration. So may I ask the TWG what is the requirement sa pickup medium A? Okay. So we have verified from the technical working group that the requirement for pickup registration should be medium A for ports, harbor, and offshore engineering. Okay, I hope that is clear to all, especially to our respective leaders. Then another requirement is the statement of single largest contract completed, or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, and whose value adjusted to current prices using the basic consumer price indices must be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid. So your SLCC should be at least or equivalent to 50% or more of the ABC. For the financial documents, we have the audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective total and current assets and liabilities, stamped received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions. So income tax return should be filed electronically using the electronic filing and payment system pursuant to AO 398 and RR 3-2005. Non-compliance with this will be marked failed. Next is the prospective bidder's computation of its net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, or commitment from a universal or commercial bank to extend a credit line in favor of the prospective bidder if awarded the contract to be bid. For joint venture agreement, if applicable to you, each partner of the joint venture shall submit the respective PhilJEP certificates of registration in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of this IR Act. And submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint partners constitute compliance already, and provided that the partner responsible to submit NFCC shall likewise submit the statement of all its ongoing contracts and related financial statements. So separate for the contracting parties for the joint venture. The technical component shall contain the following: notarized bid security declaration or bid security in the prescribed form, amount and validity period, duly signed contract, project organizational chart for the contract to be bid, project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety and health officer, foreman. Another is the duly signed list of contractors' key personnel, showing the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety and health officer, and foreman, to be assigned to the contract to bid with their complete qualification and experience data. So for this, we require you to submit the PRC licenses, PTR, certificate of employment, biodata, contractor's letter certificate, procuring entity, and certificate of training for materials engineer accredited by the PWH, certificate of training for the construction safety and health officer. So please submit all the requirements as to the key personnel related to the project. Then we have duly signed list of contractors' equipment, whether owned, leased, or under purchase agreement, supported by certification of availability of equipment for the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project and proof of ownership. So for this one, for the list of contractors' equipment, we have provided a pro forma. Please refer to it. So all of the equipment should be owned by the contractor or the bidder. We have 9 actually equipment: oxygen, acetylene with cutting outfit, boom truck, jackhammer with compressor, 1 bagger with mixer, complete vibrator, bar cutter, pulling machine, single engine driven, air compressor with spray gun, and coring machine. DWG, can you verify on the list of equipment? And do we require that all the equipment should be owned by the bidder or contractor? Okay. Sir? Okay, I think that is correct. No? The list is 1 unit each. So, any questions so far from our respective leaders? Please. Then, sworn statement by the prospective bidder or its duly authorized representative in the form prescribed by the GPPB to the following: that it is not blacklisted or barred from the bidding by the GOP or any of its agencies, offices, corporations, and NGOs. Each of the documents submitted is in satisfaction of the bidding requirements. It is authorizing the head of the procuring entity or his duly authorized to verify all the documents submitted. The signatory is the duly authorized representative of the prospective bidder. It complies with the disclosure provision. It complies with the responsibilities of a prospective or eligible bidder. It complies with existing labor laws and standards. And it did not give pay directly in any commission amount or fee from considerable penalty otherwise. So we have to comply with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no? 9, sorry, 9 important provisions of the sworn statement. Okay. And for the second envelope comprising the financial component, we have the following: financial bid form in accordance with the form prescribed, so refer to the pro forma also. The duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities, duly signed construction schedule and escort. You have to indicate also the bar chart, duly signed detailed estimates with summary on labor, materials, and equipment rates, and duly signed cash flow by quarter and payment schedule. It is emphasized that any missing document in the above mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid. Okay. So let's go back to the instruction to bidders regarding marking and sealing of bids. Please refer to page 17 of your ITP. Contained under item 19, format and sending of bids. Bidders shall submit their bids through their duly authorized representative using the appropriate forms provided in 2 separate sealed bid envelopes, and which shall be submitted simultaneously. The first shall contain the technical component of the bid, including the eligibility requirements under the ITP costs, and the second shall contain the financial component of the bid. This shall also be observed for its lab in the case of So as explained, you have to submit to simplify. I think you already know this, but for purposes of reminding you and emphasizing our during the bidding process, you have to submit 2 documents. First is the technical component, and the second is the financial component. So I have already mentioned to you the list of technical documents required and the list of financial documents. So all the technical documents shall be enclosed in one envelope marked technical component, and you have to provide 3 copies, no? 1 original and 2 duplicate copies. So you have to put there copy number 1 and copy number 2 for technical component, including the original copy, and another 3 copies for financial component. So you have to mark also original copy, copies number 1 and 2, and those copies will be sealed in one big envelope or package. It will be sealed, and that will be the time that you will have to grab. Again, we have 3 copies for the technical component and 3 copies for the financial component with the original and 2 duplicates. Enclose that into one big envelope. Okay, with the proper markings as provided in the ITB. Just refer to your ITB, your documents. So all envelopes shall contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, bearing the name and address of the bidder in capital letters, be addressed to the procuring entity's back in accordance with ITB clause, bear a specific identification of this bidding process, and must bear a warning, do not open before the date and time for the opening of bids. Okay. Do you have a sample? Kindly get a sample for this one. Okay. Another important reminder is the format and signing of bids. Sealing and marking of bids. I mean, sealing and marking of bids. Forms as mentioned in ITB clause must be completed without any alterations to their format, and no substitute form shall be accepted. All blank spaces shall be filled with the information requested. So for any correction or interlineations or any changes in the information in the bid forms, you may change or make the necessary corrections, provided that it should be signed or initialed by the authorized signing official. So for any correction, please let the authorized signing official sign it or initial the corrections. And all the bid pages of the bid proposal should be properly and chronologically paged, and each page should be signed also by the authorized signing official. Okay. So bid envelopes that are not properly sealed and marked as required in the bidding document shall not be rejected, but the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The BAC or the procuring entity shall assume no responsibility for the misplacement of the contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or for its premature opening. That's why we encourage you to submit a properly bound copy for your bid proposals. So meaning no link bound, but all of those should be properly bound, whether hard or soft bound. So kaning mga ring-bound and other loosely bound bid document should no the back no, assume no responsibility for the misplacement if if there is improperly sealed or marked bid during the opening of bidding. Okay. So, do you have questions at this point? Wala? Okay, so after this, I will call on the technical working group head to explain further the technical items or descriptions of the project. And may I ask Engineer Phil to discuss technical aspect of the project. Okay, before we proceed with the technical, this is the sample. I have mentioned the original technical component bearing the project name, the bidder name, and the address of the back chairperson. The name and address of the back chairperson, and a mark, an important mark. Do not open before the date of the bidding and time. I will just give this to you for your reference. You can just take pictures na lang for your cell phone. Okay, okay.
Thank you, Architect Araraw. So, good morning everyone to our prospective bidders. The scope of work of the repair and replacement of Fendering system cover Walkway to include reinforcement concrete overlay of Fastcraft, Berth, and Bulkhead. So, the project consists of the removal of existing covered walkway of the Fastcraft. The center picture, you can see the existing Tagbilaran. It will be removed and replaced with a new one. Then the existing B-type windows will be removed and replaced with you can see the center, the middle portion of the picture, this one. This will be this is the existing canopy or covered walkway of the Fastcraft Berth. It will be removed and replaced with the new one. It will be widened, not the structure, not the berthing spaces, but only the canopy to be widened because it is very narrow from the existing one. In the replacement of the existing D-type rubber benders to be removed and replaced with D-type bender. fender to be used for the replacement of the existing fender will be the D-type fender, which is 460 mm height and 460 mm width and 2000 mm length. This varies with the two different length. It is composed of 2 meters length and 1.5 meters length. And this is the existing plan of the Fastcraft Berth. This existing RC will be complete overlay. This one, as you can see for your windows, there's a detail there on how to place the complete overlay. Mostly of the work to be done here will be during night time because of the daily claims of the Fastcraft. Mostly it will be around last day of 9 o'clock in the evening. From Cebu, Ocean Jet. So beyond that, so you can have your operation. So, but you can still
anyway, there is a provision here at the on the POW, provision of temporary wooden pathway for the use of affected passengers during repair works. So they will be provided temporary wooden pathways to also protect the project, the construction work. But the canopy should be always nighttime.
During that time, early during that time.
The existing canopy will be only removed after the new canopy will be in place because our new design will be overlap the existing one. So was higher than the existing one, so it will be not affected during the operation. So it can help also for the protection of the riding public during the operation, the construction of this canopy. Then it can work also during daytime because there's another item. It's a development. This portion here, usually boardroom here, made of RC, made of concrete. Let me invite you to the shape number 18 with the isometric view. So this boardwalk will be constructed along the existing security fence. Left side, you fronting towards the Passport Berth. So this one will be the design. This is the existing security fence, and this will be the proposed boardwalk here. You can see the details on how to be this boardwalk to be constructed. There's a floating tie beam. Then there's a column that's to the tie beam. So the bigger scope approach here is the boardwalk, the covered walkway, the covered walkway of the Passport Berth, then remove and replacement of existing damaged windows, and concrete overlay of the existing RC deck. Then covered walkway connecting from the existing PTB1 towards to the proposed project. The proposed canopy from the PTB1 connecting to the Fastcraft Berth. So these are only the scope of work for this project. Indeed, the boardwalk is the update of this Fastcraft Berth in this canopy. So that's all.
Thank you, Engineer. Any question from the contractors?
Kaya po ba kayo mag-ipag-coordinate po sa Fastcraft? Yung scheduling ng Fastcraft?
Operation.
Operation talaga.
So they can work during construction, the activities during night time. So siguro sa mga 70% during night time and 30% for the preparation during daytime.
Daytime.
Majority during night time activities.
Okay. Salamat po, salamat.
So actually during construction, during night time we pull out the Fastcraft diesel, the anchor outside the Fastcraft Berth. They will pull out during night time.
Okay, salamat po.
Okay lang, sir.
Ang existing walkway, this will be put out after or completed the new canopy or covered walkway. So tapusin mo na yung new covered walkway bago i-pull out natin yung old covered walkway. So gagawin pa rin yan during construction. Kasi during construction, mayroon tayong provision of pathway for passengers. Ilalagay natin dyan, pinulay mo. Then, ipupulot natin yan during night time. Then, during daytime, ibabalik natin yun para sa mga pasahero. So, maliwanag siguro yan. Kasi depende na yung mga pasahero, yung mga postcard na doon gumugulong doon sa may maraming bangkal. So, na-enlist natin yung mga bangkal na may mga standboard o standbar o dawin, lalagyan natin ang platform. So, yung mga postcard doon, nadaan, pati yung kuhan. Kasi mayroon tayong provision dito na mga 79 linear 50 linear meters. 50 linear meters na platform. Including yan sa scope of work natin. Plywood lang na yan, 3/4 media. Basta lang magkadaan ng pasahero at saka yung postcard, yung mga bagahe nila. Okay. Kita mo yan, yung shaded portion, i-check ko lang yung elevation. Kasi ibabaw yung cover mo. So, almost di malapit sa inner block. Okay.
Yung materials regarding
J5, below J5. Yung poste, yung mga girder niya, J5. Mga bracing or diagonal bracing, J5.
Can we now continue with the next project, Mr. Chair? The repair of port facilities to include complete paving of parking area, bulkhead, covered walkway, security fence, welcome art, guardhouse, and gate at the port of Loon.
Okay, yun. This is amount of or an EPC of 30,600,266 and 77 centavos. Okay, John, you may proceed.
Okay, again, we will first discuss or present to you the invitation to bid, and this will be followed by the discussion of the RTB, the invitation, the instruction to bidders, and then we will review the requirements on the technical and financial component, and then check on the pro forma. After that, we will also discuss the technical aspect of engineering aspect of that project. So for the invitation to bid, again, we have posted this in the PPA website, as well as the PLGFs and 3 conspicuous places, last May 24. And as contained in the invitation to bid, the Philippine Ports Authority, through the appropriate budget of the authority for CY 2018, intends to apply the sum of 30 million. This is larger than the first project of 30,600,266 pesos and 77 centavos as the ABC. Under this project, repair of port facilities to include complete paving of parking area, bulkhead, covered walkway, security fence, welcome arc, guardhouse, and gate, Port of Loon. Actually, this is Port of Loon, Loon Bohol na rin. No need for to put the Tagbilaran. Port of Loon, Loon Bohol. And bids received in excess of the initial bid automatically rejected at bid opening. For the scope of work, we have 4 major works. First is the demobilization. Next is the repair of parking area and bulkhead. And then repair of security fence, gates, guardhouse, and welcome arc. And last is the repair of port lighting system. This the work required is 300 calendar days. And bidders should have completed within 10 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids. A single largest contract completed similar to the project. So I hope you have your SLCC, which is similar to the project. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using non-discretionary pass-fail criteria as specified. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens with at least 75% interest. And bidders may obtain further information from the back and inspect the bid documents at the address below before 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That is before the bid opening. Until the bid opening, you can still secure or purchase the bid documents until the deadline of the submission bids. A complete set of bid documents may be purchased by interested bidders from the address below, and upon payment of a non-refundable fee of the same amount of 25,000 pesos. We are now holding a preview conference for this project, and bids must be delivered to the address below or on or before 10 a.m. of June 19. June 19 is, what date is that? What day? Tuesday. Okay. So it must be delivered at the Bids and Awards Committee, Engineering Services Division, PMO Administration Building. will be received by the Bank Secretariat. All bids, the same, we have corrected this one, that you may submit any of the following forms, whether cash or cashier's manager's check, bankrupt guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit, surety bond, wala panipan, or any combination of the following. In lieu of this bid security forms, you have also an option to submit or give your bid security declaration, okay, in lieu of these items. And take note of the amount of bid security that is required. For cash cashier's manager's check, that is 2% of the ABC. Bankrupt guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit, that is also 2% of the ABC. Surety bond, 5% of the ABC. And any combination of the foregoing. Proportionate, that is proportionate to the share of form with respect to total amount of security. And bids will be open in the presence of the bidders' representatives if they wish to attend. Late bids shall not be accepted. So the same required pickup registration, PPA, for ports, harbor, and offshore engineering. Okay, that is for the invitation to bid. Question for this project? So let's proceed. Okay, let's just run down the list of requirements, starting with the technical components. We will just refer to the annex, like an I, like the Loon project. Loon, okay. The annex, those that contains the list of requirements for component, technical and financial component. Checklist, yes, checklist. Okay. So this is the checklist for the second project at the port of Loon. We have for first envelope the eligibility requirements, PDI, SEC or serial registration, and then valid mayor's permit for the principal place of business. You know this already, and then the tax clearance. So last time around, we require you to submit a tax clearance to support the submission of your documents. That was last time, but right now we will no longer require that. So when you submit your bid proposals or bid documents, you did not submit also the tax clearance, present the tax clearance. We will accept the technical, the bank secretary will accept your bid proposals. But your tax clearance should be part of your bid documents. Dili na katong i-present pa ninyo sa sabi no. Tax clearance is just part of the requirements of the bid documents. Okay. And then another requirement is the Belgium certificate of registration. The newly signed statement of all going contracts. So please refer to the attached forms provided in the bid documents. Then valid pickup license and registration. So for this project, so we require a pickup registration of medium A, ports, harbor, and offshore engineering. Next. Statement of single largest contract completed, or SLCC, similar to the contract that we bid, and host value adjusted to current prices using the PSA consumer price. This is must be at least 50% of the ABCDPP. So the technical working group will be evaluating your submitted SLCC to check if you have complied with the 50% requirement of the ABCDPP. For the financial documents, you have to submit the following audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective total current assets and liabilities stock received by the BIR or is duly accredited and authorized in the report that is preceding calendar year. So meaning preceding calendar year, we require you to submit the 2017 statement of financial statement, or the one that you annual, you call that annual. So submitted to received by the BIR. Income tax return should be filed. So you know this already also. Income tax return should be filed electronically using the electronic filing and payment system pursuant to EO 398 and RR 3-2005 of the GPPP. The prospective bidder's computation of its net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, if that is insufficient, you may secure a commitment from a universal or commercial bank to extend a credit line in favor of the prospective bidder, if awarded a contract. For joint venture, I believe none of you, the prospective bidder, are in joint venture, either sole proprietor or corporation. Next. For the technical component, we have notarized bid security declaration, or bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period. So you may opt to submit only one, either the prescribed form, security bid, the prescribed form, or the notarized bid security declaration. But commonly, most bidder or contractors submit the notarized bid security declaration. The duly signed contract, project organizational chart for the contract bid, showing the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety and officer, and foreman. That is the usual key personnel. Then duly signed list of contractors' key personnel. We have now the same project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety and officer, and foreman. Friends to the project with their complete qualifications and experience data. So meaning you have to fill in the required experience nila and qualification through the list of the information that you have to provide to us through the pro forma. Also, you have to attach the PRC license, the PTR, certificate of employment, biodata, contractors with their certificate of procuring entity, and certificate of training for materials engineer, accredited by DPWH, certificate of training for the construction safety and health officer, whether you have to secure it from the DOLI or any accrediting body, DOLI or ETI ba to? Okay. And then duly signed list of contractors' equipment. So can we present to them the list of contractors' equipment, because the first project is different from the requirement from the second project. So these are the required equipment of the Loon project. 1 minute each. We have backhoe with breaker, payloader, crawler crane 25 to 30 tons, road roller 10 tons, road grader, water truck, welding machine, engine driven, boom truck, acetylene with cutting outfit, 1 bagger concrete mixer, concrete vibrator, concrete cutter, and bar cutter. Please be reminded, guys, sometimes there are interchanges, especially that you are bidding, most of you are bidding for the two projects. There's a possibility that it will be one swap. There are times during the opening of bids that the one contractor has different set of equipment for different project. Ang nahitabo lang na swap na dahil nasayop. So that is a big mistake on your part if that will happen. Okay. Just review all your documents. Next. Next update. I will give the microphone to the technical group head.
For information for the prospective bidders, for item 3 of the required equipment, crawler crane 25 to 30 tons, wheel type crane also will be considered for this one. Wheel type. We will not specify crawler crane. It is the same purpose. So even if you have wheel type crane, so it will be acceptable. So thank you.
I think the wheel type crane is also an option in order to protect the pavement structure of the port. Because the crawler crane has metal belt, so it's more it will protect if you can have a wheel type crane. Anyway, that is your option. Okay. Next, after the equipment, we have. By the way, the list of equipment should be primarily owned by the bidder. And then source statement by the prospective bidder or its duly authorized representatives in the form prescribed by the PPA. So omnibus form statement. Again, the 9 important items, not blacklisted. Each of the documents submitted in satisfaction of the bidding requirements, authorizing the head of procurement to verify all documents. Signatory is the duly authorized representative of the prospective bidder. It complies with the disclosure procedure provision. It complies with the responsibilities of the prospective or eligible bidder. It complies with existing labor rules and standards. It did not give or pay the recommended commission amount for any form of consideration, pecuniary or otherwise. The most important thing, this should be duly notarized. Okay. For the second envelope, you have the following requirements: financial bid form in accordance with the form prescribed, duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities, duly signed construction schedule and escort indicate bar chart, duly signed detailed estimates with summary on labor, materials, and equipment rates, and duly signed cash flow by quarter and payment schedule. So again, we will remind you that you have to have in your computation the required 12% back. Any lower or higher than 12, your bid proposal will be rejected. So you have to follow the 12% back on your documents. Any missing document in the above mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid. So that's why we encourage you to have your bid documents or proposals properly bound, so as not to have to prevent or avoid any missing document in the above mentioned checklist. And for purposes of emphasis also, with regards to your submitted bid documents, the original bid proposal will rule over the 2 duplicate copies. No? You have to submit 3 man, diba? And any discrepancy between the 3 or between the original and the duplicate copies, the original copy will prevail. Okay, so you have to check religiously the documents in your original bid proposal. Any question? So checklist. So let us proceed to the ITD of the signing and sealing. Also the signing and sealing of bids. Format and signing of bids. So the same, you have to seal your format on signing of bids. You have to sign all the pages of your bid proposal. If possible, all the pages should be signed, even blank or title pages should be signed or initialed by the authorized or signing official. If possible, you have to also chronologically page all the document for your protection, and also for corrections or eliminations, erasures. So again, you may impose the desired correction for as long as the authorized signing official will sign or initial it. Nagay initial or signature sa authorized signing official sa mga corrections. What else? Sealing and marking of bids. We have already presented to you the envelopes, no? Onto a format. Marking of the envelopes, and each envelope should be marked original copy and duplicate or copies 1 and 2 for both technical and financial components. And then you have to seal that both the technical and financial component will be sealed in one envelope, and with the 3 envelopes, original bid envelopes and copies 1 and 2, they will be contained in one big envelope, or it have to be packed or wrapped, sealed, tightly sealed as one document or proposal, and then you will submit it during the bid opening or deadline of submission of bids. Okay. I think that's all for the instruction to bidders. So I will turn you back to the technical working group head to discuss the engineering aspect or the technical aspect of the project.
Thank you, sir. For the repair of all facilities to include concrete paving of parking area, bulkhead, covered walkway, security fence, welcome mark, guardhouse and gate. For the port of Loon, Katapakan, Bulkhead. Scope of work to be done. For item number 1, general expenses, mobilization, demobilization, and 1.02, provide construction safety and health program and execution of the project. Then item number 2, repair of parking area and bulkhead. This one, parking area, is portion to be reclaimed, and this portion here is there's a existing terminal office to be demolished. So this one, existing terminal office, which is damaged during the 2013 world earthquake. So this one will be demolished and to be converted into parking area for the working office. Then item number 3, the repair of security fence, gates, guardhouse, and welcome mark. This one is color green will be the perimeter fence, and this side is the covered walkway going to the pier, and this is the guardhouse. This is the welcome arm. Then for item number 4, the repair of port lighting system. 6 units is solar lighting system here will be along the causeway will be repaired. For the parking area, it will be in clean methodology, not you're only using morax and armorax for the containment of the building materials. This portion. And for this covered walkway, we have also the widening for this one to facilitate this covered walkway here. So there's a widening about 3.6 meters for this one for the covered walkway. So that the existing causeway will not be utilized for the covered walkway. So there's any question for this presentation of the project? So that we can go to the bill of quantities. Because the first project we will not tackle that one, so we'll tackle this one. First for the bill of quantities of the Port of Loon, then after we tackle the bill of quantities of Port of Loon, the bill of quantities for the repair of the Fastcraft Berth. So for the general expenses for the Port of Loon, item 101, mobilization and demobilization. Quantity is 1, then unit is not flat. In item 102, provide construction safety and health program execution of the project. The duration of the project is 300 calendar days, then we have the 10 months for this provision of safety and health program. Then item number 2, repair of parking area and bulkhead. Item 201, demolition of existing damaged office building. So this one, 48 square meter. Then item 202, chipping of existing RC4 plus to existing pavement and snow den. So this will be 22 linear meters. Then item 203, supply and place 50 to 300 kilogram borax. Quantity is 1,589.25 cubic meters. For item 204, supply and place 100 kilogram armorax with a quantity of 1,782.90 cubic meters. For item 205, supply and install geotextile filter fabric with a quantity of 744.80 square meter. In item 206, supply and place sand and gravel field with a quantity of 2,058.70 cubic meter. For item 207, supply, spread and compact selected field with a quantity of 2,172.5 cubic meter. For item 208, supply, spread and compact and viscous 150 MMT with a quantity of 355.8 cubic meters. For item 2, supply and place 250 MMT for ton cement concrete equipment with a strength of 3,500 PSI to include 25 mm dowels, asphalt sealant, and formworks with a quantity of 1,634.7 square meter. Then for item 3, repair of security fence, gates, guardhouse, and welcome. Sub-item 3.01, demolition of existing guardhouse and security gate to include segregation of demolished materials. The quantity is 1 and unit is not. Item 302, supply, fabricate, and install security fence. The quantity of 443.4 linear meter. For item 303, supply, fabricate, and install pedestrian and vehicle gate. Quantity is 1 and unit is flat. For item 304, supply, fabricate, and install welcome mat. Quantity is 1 and the unit is unit. 305, repair of guardhouse, 1 unit. Item 306, provision of covered walkway, 211.6 linear meter. For item 307, supply and place 3,500 PSI concrete for pathway to include stair reinforcement, formworks, and PVC outfall, 148 cubic meters. For item 308, supply, deliver, and install electrical fixtures for covered walkway to include electrical wires, PVC conduit, and accessories, 1 lot. For item 4, repair of port lighting system, repair of electrical handhold, 5 units. Item 402, repair of electrical encasement to include PVC conduits, PVC conduit pipe, fittings, demolition of existing equipment, excavation, and installation of existing equipment, 56 linear meter. Then item 403, repair of existing solar lighting system to include wires and cables and accessories, 1 lot. So I ask the prospective bidders with for all the quantities in your bid documents is the same for what we have read with Victor. Okay? Any question for the quantity? So we will proceed to the bill of quantities for the Fastcraft Berth. For the repair and replacement of Fendering system and covered Fastcraft Berth. For item 1, general expenses, mobilization / demobilization, 1 lakh. Item 102, provide construction safety and health program for the project, 10 months, so it will be equivalent of 300 calendar days. For item 2, repair of covered walkway, fendering, and mooring system and Fastcraft Berth. Item 2.1, removal, demolition of existing damaged covered walkway to include hauling excavation. So 79 linear meter. Item 2.2, provision of temporary wooden pathway for the use of affected passengers during repair works, 50 linear meter. Item 203, supply and place 4,000 PSI for concrete overlay, RC curb and pedestal to include formworks, 99.30 cubic meters. Item 204, supply, fabricate, and install steel reinforcement for item 203 with a quantity of 12,490.50 kilograms. Item 205, supply, fabricate, and install steel framing for columns, trusses, purlins, and its accessories to include weighted scales of pieces 79.60 linear meter. Item 26, supply, deliver, and install 6 mm thick solid polycarbonate roofing and its accessories 48.90 square meter. Item 207, supply, deliver, and install 4 mm thick aluminum cladding for ceiling and roofing to include its accessories 914.1 square meter. Item 209, supply, fabricate, and install build-up acrylic welcome signages 1 lot. Item 209, item 2, that's all. 208, supply and place granite floor tiles 455.85 square meter. 2.10, repainting of existing steel window lamps to include the rusting. So 16 units. Ang existing wala na steel aside sa concrete plastic. Item 211, removal of damaged existing B-type rubber duct fenders and turnover to PPA PMOBOHOL 1 lot. Item 2.12, pouring of existing fender blocks to hold the 112 units and core bolts for B-type fendering system. 112 units. So this one will be to be poured on the existing steel fender blocks. Because we are using now the B-type. The existing one is B-type. So the holes for the anchor bolt is not the same for the new one. Item 2.13, supply, deliver, and install 160 mm height by 160 mm depth with the length of 1,500 mm. D-type fender to include its accessories 16 sets. Item 2.14, supply, deliver, and install 160 mm by 160 mm by 2,000 mm D-type fender to include its accessories 16 feet. Item 2.15, supply and install steel ramps with roller stopper to include accessories and reinforced 8 units. This one will be the access ramp for the Fastcraft. 2.16, supply, deliver, and install mooring cleats to include its accessories 14 sets. Item 217, supply and apply 2 coats of elastomeric paint or concrete surfaces to include 14 walls. Quantity of 350.75 square meter. Item 3, provision of RCB1. Item 301, removal / demolition of existing security fence and plant packs to include hauling simulation of demolished materials and turnover to PMOBOHOL for safekeeping is 6.5. It is only a portion that will be affected during that. It's only 6.5 meters, only the affected portion for the B1. Item 302, chipping of existing structure, 5 square meter. 303, excavation and removal of rocks to include restoration of existing bulkhead, 43.9 cubic meters. 304, supply and place 4,000 PSI concrete for 40 column beams, concrete pedestal and slab to include scaffoldings and formworks, 59.1 cubic meter. 305, supply, fabricate and install steel reinforcement for item 304, 9,244.6 kilograms. Item 306, supply and place floor tiles, 74.9 square meters. Item 307, supply and place table washout finish with 62.00 square meter. Item 308, supply, fabricate, and install stainless railings to include its accessories, 60 linear meter. 307, supply and apply 2 coats of elastomeric paint on concrete surfaces to include existing security concrete surfaces. Supply and apply 2 coats of elastomeric paint on concrete surfaces to include existing security walls and in beams. Security walls will be the wall of the existing security paints. This one. 192 square meter. For item for repair of covered walkway from passenger terminal building 1 to Fastcraft Berth. Item 401, demolition of existing plant box and concrete ramp and replace with PCCP to include hauling, segregation, demolished materials and turnover to PMOBOHOL, one land. Item 402, supply and place 3,500 PSI concrete for pedestal and foundation to include steel reinforcement, formworks, excavation and demolition existing PCCP, 18 units. Item 403, supply, fabricate and install steel framing for columns, trusses, purlins and accessories to include 51 land. Item 404, supply, deliver and install elemental polycarbonate solid sheet, including its accessories, 211.25 square meter. Item 405, supply, deliver and install systematic solid polycarbonate roofing and its accessories, 65.5 square meter. Item 406, supply and place and base floor tiles to include PCCP collection, 144.45 square meter. Item 407, supply and apply 2 coats of elastomeric paint on concrete pedestal, 1 lot. For item 5, electrical works, 501, supply, deliver and install electrical post including concrete pedestal, docking casement and accessories, 5 units. Item 502, supply, deliver and install electrical conduit pipe for various sizes, including its fittings and accessories, 1 lot. Item 503, supply, deliver and install electrical wires and cables for various sizes and accessories, 1 lot. Item 504, supply, deliver and install lighting and electrical fixtures of various types to include accessories, 1 lot. 505, supply, deliver, and install bolt-on type panel board, protective devices and accessories, 1 lot. So that's all for the bill of quantities for the letter of customer. So for our prospective viewers, any questions?
So, sino po pa namin ng videos? Pwede mo bang bigyan kami ng isang space para sa back house? Provide sa amin.
Pre-construction meeting. During pre-construction meeting, we provide a space for the contractors for construction place. So, hindi pa tayo nanalo kung sino, sa kanila siguro, during pre-construction meeting.
Okay po, salamat po.
Any question?
So far, you have questions starting from the addition to bid up to the engineering aspect of the project. So no more, no question. Okay, if none, I will turn the microphone back to the presiding officer and back chairperson, Sir Richard.
Okay, John, thank you very much. If there is none questions, then any motion from the back members for adjournment of this meeting?
I move to adjourn this meeting.
Seconded by Robert Tanagan. So, meeting is adjourned. So, kalimot ko. Thank you very much for coming, ladies and gentlemen.